What's going on, everybody? If you don't know who we are, I'm John. He's Christian, and yeah, we're here at the new Santuku set. You might have noticed on some of the previous episodes, but yeah, this is a new set, and we got a new format going on. It's gonna be more of a podcasty type feel. So hope you enjoy. Stay tuned.
Order up.
So yeah, guys, welcome to the show, and yeah, usually we'll be introducing the guests, but at this episode, I'm guessing the first episode, Christian and me are the guests. So I guess we could start off by just saying like, welcome. Hope you enjoy this, and yeah, and maybe you can get some insight. We're gonna be talking about everything from like film and internships and all sorts of crazy shit. So if you're into film and you want to know a little bit more about it and some of the tips and tricks of how to get around the industry, we're here for you. And also, we're also giving you an average, I want to say an average Joe's opinion, I guess.
No, that makes sense. Because I feel like we're not like necessarily like, even if we did get onto that like level, which we strive to be, I feel like we'll always be like your more average citizen about a lot of things. We're not gonna.
I could feel your pain, coming up. So, so for the ones that are not established, or the ones that are established, well, we'll have a little bit of everything for you guys. So, with that being the case, what inspired you to do film? What made you go to film school?
I'll just start off simply because I feel like your story is probably a lot more interesting than mine. Today, in today's age, you can't just be a photographer, and I started off as a photographer. Now I hate photography. I worked at a photography studio. I'm not gonna say what studio. People in the know me, people who work with us, know what studio we worked at. Fucking hate it now. So, but yeah, like in today's age, you can't be just a photographer unless you're like pretty established in it. But I went to film school, learned how to do video. I mean, I could have just done it online, but like I prefer going to normal school rather than just learning it. I needed a basis, but now I can learn it all by myself.
Got it. I want to say, I wanted to film school because I watched a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
I graduated high school and I didn't know what to do with myself.
I feel like that's the same for me.
Yeah, and I always had like an eye for movies and like visuals and stuff like that, but I never thought it was an actual thing, especially since we're from Florida. That's non-existent unless you're like in Miami, but we're based in Orlando, so yeah. And yeah, and then I came across a few YouTubers and stuff like that, and I thought, hey, that's pretty dope. I didn't see myself being a doctor or anything like that. I was actually going to join the military. I was going to be like a Navy SEAL or some shit. But yeah, so I decided to do film school instead, and then yeah, and from there it's kind of been a journey, and whoever says it's easy, it's not. So keep that in mind. It's not easy. Unless you have like a family member in the industry or something like that, then yeah, that's a whole different story. But we come from no background from film.
Yeah,
so
like literally my parents, one's an architect, one is a nurse, and I still till now my mom still tells me, when are you gonna go back to school to become a nurse? So yeah, never, but
my dad works for
always
Wawa,
hopeful.
So shout out to Wawa. Shit paid for a lot of my schooling and stuff. I mean, not really. I still pay for my schooling, but I didn't pay for shit, actually. It paid for all the shoes I had in high school, though, so that's a plus.
No, that's nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I think like looking back now, I mean, I guess I wouldn't have the foresight to do this, but like I would have like used all that money for the gear we could be using now.
Oh, 100%, 100%. There was a lot of things also in the beginning that I was like buying that I absolutely did not
for
need.
Film?
Yeah, like in general, like before I even decided to go to film school, like I was buying gear like just because I thought I would need it. Like I'll buy product like photography shit, like little soft boxes. And
so I guess this is a good topic to ask, but like, do you think that at some point gear matters? Because like I know in the beginning a lot of people say like, oh, gear doesn't matter, you can run around with T3i, but is there a point do you think like now I think I need to buy, like we need this gear to be able to do X, Y, and Z? Because we're getting to a point in our careers where we're buying aperture lights, you know, Amaran 2s back here, and we're now stocking up on a lot of gear. And it's, you know, we're running into scenarios where we're going to rent gear and buy more gear. So
Yeah, so if you didn't know that, we're actually looking to start renting some of our gear. So if you want to rent gear, please hit us up. But
shameless plug.
yeah, shameless plug. But yeah, honestly, I can't give a yes or a no. I would say no, gear doesn't matter if that's hindering you from creating content. I first thought that I needed all the gear that was possible to just shoot something, and maybe that contributes to my perfectionist, and I want to create the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But it's hindered me a lot from creating. And as we've gone through this journey, I've kind of realized like, hey, I don't need that. I don't need this. We can make it work.
Yeah.
So yes and no. Plus, you don't want to rent gear all the time. So just buy your basics, you know, like get your camera, get your simple 3-point lighting. And then if you got to get anything on top of that, then yeah.
And that's a lot to say coming from.
And this is coming from more like a run and gun type of shooter. You know, you're going to be more like upscale, then that's a whole different story.
But on top of that, like we're really big gearheads. So it's like, for us to say that it's, I would say big.
Yeah.
Or like we love gear. If we can buy all the gear, we will. At least I would.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of been a little stingy with my money. I ain't gonna cap, but
yeah. But if we had like the money rolling in like that,
yeah, that'd be. I mean, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I still think I would kind of limit.
You'd limit?
Yeah. As projects come on, and depending what we need,
yeah,
we'll get it.
More to a project basis.
Exactly.
I definitely agree with you. With like it can hinder you because like you're just wanting everything, but I think it's like a big thing in the beginning where it's like you should learn how to do X, Y, and Z with some of your most basic tools before you get into more like advanced gear.
Yeah, I think I mean that's a good point that you brought up is because I remember getting into gear that I had no idea how to use. And I would try to use it, and my skill level wasn't there yet. And if anything, would hinder me back while I was on set. It was too overly complicated. I didn't know how to use it correctly, and I just wasn't there yet talently. You know, if that's even a word.
What's some gear that you bought?
That I regret?
Yeah,
my gimbal.
No, we use that a lot now, though.
But we use it.
We rent it out to people too. So
yeah,
it's like,
I guess that's the bright side of it is that we rent that out. So you want to rent out a gimbal, hit us up. And but yeah, I mean, gimbal's all right. It's just it's a process. If you never owned a gimbal before, you know that balancing it is a pain in the ass. And no matter how good you get, whenever you're swapping lenses and doing all that stuff, you got to rebalance it all the goddamn time. So that hinders quite a bit. And simple stuff, maybe even certain lights, you know, like small little lights that, I mean, they always come in handy, but like, at least the way I shoot or the way that, you know, I've done things previously, I just don't tend to use them. I don't regret any of my purchases. Let me get that correct. I just wish maybe I would have bought something else, put the money into something else, you know. I also feel like there was a lot of things that I could have bought, but I thought they were too expensive and stuff like that I wish now I would have bought because I could definitely use it. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I remember when I bought the VL 150 from Godox. I was waiting for the 200D to release, and I think like 2 months later, 200D released, and I was like, damn, I should have just waited out for it because we ended up buying one anyways. Now we would have 3 by that point.
Yeah, I waited almost like 2 years for a new gimbal to come out. I did not want to buy a gimbal until like
the RS2, like the one we have now.
Yeah. And then now the RS2S or whatever it is, I can't remember the name of it.
Did they release another one?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It came out, I was like, God damn it.
That's like the GoPro. I also used to own a GoPro, and now I wish we had a GoPro.
Oh, now my biggest regret that I ever bought. Now I got a regret. I bought a Samsung 360 camera. Used it one time in Tennessee. Never touched it again. I don't even know what to do with it. So if you want to buy it, let me know. I'll sell it for like dirt cheap.
No, we can use that. Was it? Did she 4K?
Maybe.
What year did you buy it?
Shit, like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, it might not actually 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, never mind. Yeah, if you want to buy it.
Yeah. I'll let you know. It's a little one that looks like an eye.
Yeah, it's like a little stick, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that has to be my biggest regret is that Samsung 360 camera.
How much was it brand new?
Shit, bro. Probably like, I don't know, like 200 or something.
That's not too bad though.
That 200 could have gone to something else.
That's true. That could have been light. That could have been
That could have been anything. Could have been a filter.
Yeah, a filter.
That could have been multiple filters actually.
Yeah.
Unless you're buying those Tiffin filters, you know.
Yeah, well, those are nice. They're like, I would like to have one of those.
Prism FX, baby. Shout out to Jacob Owens.
We do own a couple of those.
Yeah, quite a bit. Anything else you regret in your film career?
In my film career? I definitely wish I rented out more not rented out, but I wish I like used more gear at the school.
So
Like they definitely had some gear that was there that I could have like played with more, or just even use the opportunity to use gear and just like play with it and set up lighting schematics while I was in school and it was free. I know, was the studio open to us while we were in school? Like we could use it like after hours? Not after hours, but you know, like when our class was in.
yeah, we could if there wasn't a class in there already in the sound stage.
But yeah, like if you're in film school now, like I would, and you have the resources to like kind of just do whatever, I would take the like as most opportunities you can. Like just use the gear. Even if like I think at our school at the time it was they just only had tungstens and a couple of LED panels. But even the tungstens, I would like to like just play with those and just set them up and do lighting schematics and things like that. And I forgot what else they had. They didn't have too much there.
As we went on, they started getting more stuff. But in the beginning, all they had was really like tungstens and like some LED panels and like a crane that never worked. You know, they had a few.
They had
cameras.
a crane?
Yeah, they had a camera. They had a crane.
I don't think I ever used it.
If you would have been in the live production class, you would have.
Yeah, but COVID happened.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, but there was a crane that barely worked. And you had to like put a gimbal at the end of it. And if I'm not mistaken, but they never had a gimbal.
They had a gimbal.
They had the
Zion crane, like a first generation one that like that didn't work. And I asked if they wanted to like sell it, and it was to the point where it was like so broken they're just like, "Do you really want this?" And I was like, "Never mind.
Yeah,
I don't want that."
No, all their tripods sucked.
Yeah, that's true.
But we had gear to use, and we had light stands and stuff like that. So it was always nice to have extra stuff. Obviously, I already owned some of my stuff, but you know, whenever I needed some extra stuff, I'll go to them and rent it out. You know.
That's a good point, actually. Do you think? And we recently had interns on our last music video set. But do you think buying gear is necessary? Like we love gear, so we buy gear, and you know we own a production company. But there's some people out there who believe that you don't really need to buy it. You just rent out all your gear, or just get rented gear and just put it on your client.
If you are known throughout the industry and you have clients that are willing to pay, then yes, rent as much as you need. But if you're coming up and you're grinding, the chances are that you're not getting paid quite well, and so the budget is not going to fit that. No, we're talking, I don't know, maybe LA has cheaper rental houses and stuff like that out in Atlanta, but here in Orlando, there's literally just like one or two rental companies, and they're kind of expensive. So yeah, so if you wanted to maybe waste the majority of your budget onto rentals, then I mean, go for it. But you know, I say you're better off literally just buying it, and then over as you do more projects, it'll pay itself off. But I just want to go back to like just saying that, like, you know, if you plan on going to film school, which I don't think film school is completely 100% necessary. But if
He's going down this topic already.
Yeah, but if you that's a big topic. Don't get it's like a, you know, it's like a conspiracy theory. But Um, if you don't have like a gear locker, like what would you say that? Like a gear locker room or something?
Yeah, like a gear cage.
Yeah, like a gear cage where you can kind of like rent out gear from your own school. I say just do internships. I feel like
If you're not in school,
even if you're not in school,
I think at that point it's no longer an internship. It's kind of just like, hey, can I come out on a favor? Like, can I just do this?
yeah. I feel like I would. It's gonna be hard to get into bigger production houses because they're definitely gonna require you to have some schooling background. But for a lot of music video directors and stuff like that that are not in like the Hollywood industry, well, they are, but they're not making movies and stuff like that, or it's a lot easier for you to reach out to them and kind of just intern around. And you'll learn so much more than you'll learn even in school. School kind of goes over the basics, I guess. If you want to get into the nitty and gritty of things, interning is definitely the way to go.
If you're not interning now and you're in school, I don't care like what really school you're going to, technical school, your community college's film program, or we have a pretty good community college film program here. I'm not gonna say the school, but and then we have the bigger schools here. Yeah. But yeah, do your internships, man. Even if you hit your cap. I mean, I hit my cap and I just stopped.
Yeah, I kept going foolishly.
That's a topic for another. That's a topic for a little bit later. But yeah, like if you have the opportunity to go around and try out different things, when it's either sports broadcasting or music videos, commercials, whatever, live streams, you just do it. You're gonna get a lot of hands-on experience. We've taught like a couple people.
Yeah, you're gonna also see what do you like and what you want to dabble in.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to tell people that the film industry has a lot of branches, and you can follow each one. The thing is that you have to dedicate yourself to that branch if you want to get really good at it. So when you're interning, you actually have the opportunity to experience different things. Maybe you come in wanting to do music videos and you realize quickly that music videos is not your thing. Maybe you can take a narrative route. Maybe you can go into the commercial world or the news world, live broadcasting and stuff like that.
I also want to just say, like, I was on TikTok. This is when I still lived at the old house, but I was on TikTok, and when I was scrolling, there was a guy. I was going like, "There's no point in film school." There's also like, don't even go into the film like industry. Like, I went to film school, and his big thing was like, he wanted to become a writer, and he was so headstrong about it that he's like, "There's no jobs in this industry." And then when people were commenting, there's like, they're like grip jobs, like any like hard like labor jobs, and he's like, "That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to become a writer." I'm like, you kind of have to, work your way up to some of these things. Like you kind of have to pay your dues. Like if you're wanting to work for some of these jobs and like just work as a grip or a gaffer or even a PA, you can work your way up in like in a house.
100%. I've have very little knowledge of how to become a writer because I don't write, but I do know some stories of people that have become writers. And I know Tyler Perry. I could be wrong on this, but I have been told that he spent years writing and pretty much directing his own plays till finally he got realized. So maybe that's a route you will have to take. I don't think everybody writes, when it comes to like Hollywood. Imagine how many people write in Atlanta and Hollywood and stuff like that. So I think you have to have something that shows for it. So even if it's like a little short film, that's the whole point of it. That's why there's a what is that called? Film shows, film academy.
Film festivals?
Film festivals, there you go. I'm sorry. Film festivals, and that's why you take advantage of those things. And you'll never know who's there. I know there's some pretty big ones, and sometimes there's people from the industry that's there looking for scouting, pretty much, for different and new films. I know I saw an episode of Film Riot where they kind of talked about this. And if you don't know who Film Riot is, you should go check them out if you want to be in this industry.
I had a topic. I completely forgot what it was. I had like a spring off point, or like it was good, but I just don't be ignorant. That's all it is. That's what I say. Like if you want to be in this industry, you gotta be like open to doing whatever. Like my day job in this industry is like I'm an editor for a TV show. I also came up on TV and like run and gun stuff. So it's not related to music videos, but it's like I'm still in the industry. I'm meeting people. I'm connecting with people. Like it at some point it will always kind of like route itself back, even if that's like backers, producers. It's gonna pay off in some sort of way or another.
Yeah, I mean, if you go into film school thinking that you're gonna come out being the next freaking Steven Spielberg or Roger Deakins and stuff like that, you are wrong, my friend. Unless you have some unnatural talent like LeBron James, or where you're just born with the shits. But you just got to learn how to humble yourself and take jobs that you don't want to do. In my case, I interned a lot and did things that I didn't want to do. But yeah, I mean,
yeah. If you enjoyed what we've been talking about, we can talk more. If you have something specific you guys want to ask it. Yeah, and there's gonna be more of these, more people.
Yeah, we're gonna have a different talent. This show also opens up to other people that ain't artists, so a lot of businesses and stuff like that. I would like to talk to a lot of local fashion designers and stuff like that, and just different things that people got going on, so we can actually bring them onto the show with this type of platform instead of how it used to be. So stay tuned if you want to see some dope artists from your area or from the state or from anywhere. Actually, we've had artists from all over the place. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to listen to some fire music and get put on.
We just want to make a community here at Santuku and be able to support our local area. We practically grew up in Florida. I mean, we've like moved to different places, but I just want to see my community come up and be able to improve.
Yeah, I mean, Orlando, baby. There's so much talent here, and people don't realize that we're some of the sickest, talented individuals, I think, in the country. But we just get overshadowed quite a bit. So
I agree. Yeah. If you like this, give a thumbs up. Please subscribe. We know we see most of you are not subscribed. We check out the channel, so subscribe. We got to pay people. And yeah, just helps out a lot.
Yes, sir. See you guys.